Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about leadership, which is part of the soft skills series. And to start with, let's look at the definition of leadership. In brief, leadership is about the ability to inspire, motivate, influence yourself and others in order to achieve a particular goal, right? Usually when we speak about a leader, it is someone, he or she, who has got a certain vision. Very, very important to be visionary when you're a leader. It's like you tend to understand where you would be in a certain number of years. Of course, no one is an oracle that you can predict what's going to happen, but at least you have some sort of visualization, which is very important, where things are going. Now, something which is very, very essential, I believe I need to speak about when we talk about leadership, is about how do you work on yourself on the journey of being a leader. A lot of people talks about steps of how you can improve your leadership skills or how you can lead others, but they forget to look at themselves, right? So here, let me clarify what I mean by that. Number one, okay, well, all of us have got some sort of journey within ourselves in terms of inner growth. In that perspective, we do face a lot of turbulence, okay, it can be emotional turbulence. I give you a very simple example. We as human beings, we tend to be vulnerable, yeah? That's a very, very sensitive word that I'm using here, because some people think that when you are vulnerable, you have like weaknesses. It's true, we do have weaknesses, no one is perfect, yeah? But I think one of the very first things towards grooming your leadership skills is about understanding and accepting that you are vulnerable, yeah? So once you're vulnerable, you accept it, you stand up not only for yourself, but you stand up in front of others, and you do not fear of accepting that. Furthermore, in line with about working on yourself, right? Of course, I've just spoken about being vulnerable. The next thing, which is also very, very important, is you give yourself the permission to fail, okay? I know that probably sounds a bit cliche that you need to fail first before you succeed, but the truth of life is we do encounter a lot of setbacks. We do encounter a lot of failures. We don't always get success at the first go, right? And many times a lot of people give up, right? But the true quality of leadership is about how do you handle that setback and still you stand up again on your feet. Basically here we're talking about resilience, right? So the point I'm trying to make again is you give yourself the permission, the authority to fail, and it's okay to fail. Another point about yourself, which is very crucial as well, is the ability to say, I don't know, I do not know. Okay, how many people, come up and say, I don't know about something, right? Majority of people, especially educated one, they will always come up and, believe that they know a lot of things, or they would deny not knowing certain things. It's all because of the ego, okay? And here I'm speaking a lot about the way that we have been programmed, the way that society has conditioned us, right? So that's something which is very important again. So just to resume that first bit, I spoke about leadership, what it is all about, influencing, inspiring, setting direction, having some sort of vision. But at the same time, I've been putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that we need to work on ourselves in order to engage on the journey or on the path of leadership. Moving on, now we are coming to some tips in order to improve our leadership skills. Number one, I would say it is essential to understand your strengths and weaknesses. Of course, when I'm speaking about leadership, leadership could be in the political field, it could be the business field, it could be in the religious field, it could be in the sports field, you name it. There are leaders in every sphere of life. Now, having said that, right, when you look at a leader, I would take an example of a scale, right? When you look at someone, you wouldn't say that that person is 100% a leader. Probably you would say, okay, that person has got a strong leadership skill, maybe 60%, 70%. It's hard to quantify, by the way, but you would try to kind of scale that Okay, and let me just give you a very random example. The president of a country, maybe you would like that particular president, but maybe someone before that, you would not like them. Both of them have got leadership skills, but maybe one has got more than the other, right? So in that regards, I'm speaking about understanding strengths and weaknesses. So having the ability to kind of, to get a gist, oh, maybe I need to work a bit more on my communication skills as part of being a leader, right? So I kind of acknowledge that this is my weakness. On the other hand, I can see that I'm very good at convincing people, maybe the way I approach them, so that's my strength. So understanding your strengths and weaknesses will help you to understand the gaps that you have to fill up in terms of boosting those leadership skills, those shortcomings. Number 2, it's about education and training, right? It's very obvious nowadays. There are loads of business schools around where they are giving like leadership skills training or leadership training. Some people even go for academic degrees like MSc or MBAs in leadership. Some people do PhDs, their thesis in leadership, etc., etc. So education and training can be really, really helpful if you would like to kind of get some sort of training into leadership. I know here probably there's a bit of a statement, or which we come across so many times: is a leader made or is a leader born? Are you born a leader? Right. Well, my opinion is, it's a bit of both, right? It could be within your genes. You've got your parents, your grandparents who were in some sort of leadership position. So somehow you do inherit those leadership characteristics. Not 100%, but you do have that naturally inborn in you. But then a lot of that leadership capability or skills, I strongly believe, it is through education, it is through the way that you're exposed to the environment while you're growing up, the schools you go, the activities you take part in, etc., etc. So that statement, resounding with what I'm just speaking about in terms of education and training, it is possible to become a leader with education and training. And of course, you have to work hard for it. It's not just getting a degree or doing a course overnight you become a leader. There's loads of practice behind it. It's not just about having certificates. The third tip I would say is about coaching and mentoring, which is something very, very popular nowadays. It's good to have a coach, it's good to have a mentor who can guide you on the pathway of, becoming a better leader, right? Sometimes you're doing particular actions or strategies or policies you're implementing at the workplace as part of your job, but it could be that there are certain shortcomings. Shortcomings could be very simple, not only from documentation perspective. Shortcomings could be in the way that you're dealing with people, right? But having a coach and a mentor kind of puts you on the right track, okay? And remember, it doesn't matter whether you're the CEO of the biggest company in the world. We all do need some sort of mentoring, some sort of coaching to kind of guide us, because in the journey of leadership, in the journey of life itself, I would say, okay, we do tend to have a lot of external factors which end up disturbing us, okay? And in that sort of confusion, right? No matter how educated, smart you are, in that world, in that moment of confusion, in that phase of confusion, having a mentor really helps you to kind of push yourself to come off it and become a better version of yourself. That's the key here, to become a better version of yourself. Also do read and research, okay? You might have come across a lot of these famous business people, right from Elon Musk to Warren Buffett. Okay, you will see that a lot of them do talk about self-education. And when I'm talking about self-education here, it's like listening to podcasts, it's like reading books. Reading is so important. If you're not a big fan of reading, maybe you can listen to audiobooks, right? Or simply go on YouTube. There are many videos about summaries of certain books, okay? That won't take much of your time. But all these things, they do enlighten you, they do bring different perspectives of leadership in this particular case. And I would highly recommend you to kind of keep self-educating yourself. And education in itself, it never ends, isn't it? Even though you become super educated, you've got postdoctoral degree, whatever you've got, okay, you will still need to keep yourself up to date with what's going on around you. So learning is a lifelong process, and a leader never stops learning. Furthermore, right, I would say super duper important, right? I know everything is important, but this one is really magical. It's about connecting and networking, right? As we say, birds of the same feather flock together, which means that you need to be part of the tribe, right? That tribe where there are similar people with similar mindset like you, people who are there to uplift you, right? If you're around that circle of people who got similar sort of journey, similar direction, similar vision, similar goals, positivity and enthusiasm, they really want to thrive. If you're among them, right, you will be most likely to reach where you want to compared to being in a different environment. So that's super important, to connect with people with the right mindset, not only just connecting for the purpose of keeping yourself uplifted, but connecting also to help you to meet, make new contacts that will be able to boost your career in itself. Okay, that's so important. And one of the classical examples here is about LinkedIn, right? Loads of people on LinkedIn nowadays. You just need to know how to make the best out of it. So on that note, I would say leadership, as I've already mentioned, it's a journey. Be genuine to yourself, okay? It's a long journey. Be open to learning, okay? And have that grace to accept, to be compassionate to yourself, to be kind to yourself. That precedes my emotional intelligence video, which hopefully you enjoyed, by the way. It's all connected to one or the other. A leader is someone who has got a high emotional intelligence. So try to work on that, okay? See where it goes. And remember, the path is not linear, it's not straight. There are loads of ups and downs. But the good leader is the person who's able to thrive and still go towards the end, no matter how many times he or she is knocked out. So good luck, and please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share my video. Bye.